So I'm quite liking this interaction and that online. It's good fun, it's wholesome, and it just helps. I'm also in Scotland like you, and yeah, don't worry, I've got no intention of showing my face or anything, so there's no worries there. So yeah, good student. About the Queen and that, I did fail to mention Tony Blair, and this does kind of feed into my point about how a successful Republican movement might actually help us in the long term. Long term especially. Yeah. By the way, I was just like, as I was thinking about republics and that, I think I really despise them now. Like, I can't for the life of me remember where I saw this quote, but I remember it went something like, "No gods or kings, only men." And this is quite profound to me, and really gave me a dystopian idea of the Republic as like this evil and soulless and wretched entity, like especially ones that come from a revolution. Only men, like rats trapped at the bottom of a bin, and like there's nothing left to do except either fight or rot away until everything of value is gone. That is the Republic to me. Imagine not having God as your head of state. Like, how cringe would that be? I don't know. I just hate the idea of, like just mere men, like, attempting to govern. I don't know, I hate it. This is coming from, like, an atheist as well. Yeah, that's another internal battle of mine. Anyway, so we're talking about the Queen in relation to Blair. I was only a little baby when Blair was kind of pulling the strings, and so I'm a bit clueless, but I reckon if a Blairite found himself kind of behind the levers of power today, they would on the surface be really patriotic and all this kind of thing, and they would love the Queen and all this bollocks. We see this a little bit today. So the UK government recently made it so that all government buildings, I think, have to fly a Union flag every day. Obviously, this like completely inconsequential. It's basically like virtue signaling for right wingers, and they're probably going to put like 2 LGBT flags, like, and sandwich the Union flag like in between, so you can't see. But yeah, you saw normies on Twitter kind of celebrating this as a big win, but they're really just wasting their energy. And you know what? I apologise to you, mate, because I'm wasting your energy with this low politics, just nonsense. We need to rise above it. But it does illustrate my point, though, that Blair would slam this kind of aspect into overdrive today in order to essentially appease Middle England. But backstage, they'll be doing as much damage as possible, just like last time. More British blood soaked into the sands of foreign lands, and more of the rape and torture of my people on an industrial scale. Plus Great Reset, Fourth Industrial Revolution, this kind of neo-feudal deal going on. And to those who are banking on like Reform UK and Reclaim and the rest of these kind of guys, we'll call them controlled opposition coalition. Yeah, if these guys are in power, I doubt they would do anything like really substantial. They would essentially be like a benign Blair. There would be less of the bad, and then not much of the good, and it would all be draped in red, white, and blue. So, from where I'm standing, it looks like a simple prolonging of the inevitable, essentially. And this brings me back to the Queen, because I do love the Queen, and but this I don't remember if it's a song or something, but if you love them, let them go, right? This kind of thing. She is like a form of crowd control. She's like a facade that's and we're in total agreement here. I think you and I are a good student. She's just a facade, and just useful to control normies. And a useful thing right now would be less control. Would be for the establishment to show their hand. That's what we need, I think. And in relation to the accelerationism point, and kind of what exactly is guiding our thinking. At the moment, I'm broadly ride the tiger, so I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate, kind of, and say that a point I would throw up is that, I talk about prolonging the inevitable, but if we really ask what that question properly is, really get an answer from that, and I know we can't predict the future or anything, but what do we think the inevitable really is going to be? Because if we're talking about a kind of a collapse type of event, then surely one would think that, kind of the sooner the better. Especially for someone young like me, I would rather this whole deal be over before I start having children, if that makes sense. So consequently, this kind of gives me cause to adjourn to the accelerationist kind of frame of reference. Oh, by the way, the way I understand accelerationism is that, it's kind of just like another way of explaining what's happening in the world. It's not like so much a plan of action like the Ride the Tiger is, but I don't know how all this is sounding to you guys, but I think you get what I mean. So yeah, if civilizational collapse was always going to happen, then sooner the better, and any steps that take us in that direction sooner are things to be thinking about. Or it's just like a different way of thinking. So on kind of some level, I'm hoping for a short and swift collapse, and so that afterwards we can pick up the pieces and sort it all out and bring in something new. Anyway, this video is supposed to be like a response to Good Student, and not sure how well I achieved that. He left a really long comment on one of my videos, and which I enjoyed, and this is just some thoughts I had about that. I understand you did do a video on me. I've not watched that yet, but I will, and I'll take in everything you've got to tell me. So, I did have some stuff on Sargon as well. I don't know if I've got time. Yeah, fine, whatever. Yeah, so Sargon then. The way I understand Sargon is he casts the kind of ideological net into normiedom, right? And essentially acts as normie crowd control, but for our side, I think. I think this speaks to this other idea of this kind of eternal dichotomy between the normie and the elite kind of thing. Some of us are just destined to be normies, and some of us are supposed to kind of rise up to elite level. And when I say Sargon casts the net, I mean that because he's vaguely accessible, anyone who's going to be vaguely interested in our sort of sphere will eventually make their way through to, AA and beyond. Just like me and probably many of you do. Many of you did that too. So yeah, that's kind of how I understand Sargon. I do like him, but he's funny to meme on, I guess. Anyway, I think that'll do for now. Yeah, just some thoughts I'll watch the video and that, mate. Alright then, that is all. Carry on.